What's cracking, y'all? You are now watching Boo TV. Appreciate you for stopping in. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell, stay notified, and let's get into the topic for today. So it appears that Stephen A. and Shannon Sharpe got into a heated LeBron/Lakers debate on ESPN. I haven't reacted to one of these in quite some time, but hey, NBA season is upon us, so I can understand the topics are starting to mount and become more frequent. And of course, LeBron James being the face of the NBA and the most divisive player in the NBA and the most polarizing player in the NBA. Gonna draw headlines, gonna get people chatting. We all know Shannon Sharpe is a Brongoblin. A coin I term for those you don't understand. I always have to say that because it's a small channel. We might get some new people. They're like, what's a Brongoblin? A Brongoblin is a ghoulish, grimy creature that lives to serve LeBron James. A minion, if you will. Brongobs, aka Brongoblins. You might be used to calling them bronsexuals or members of the L'Occult, the La Media, etc., etc. Sycophants, all that stuff. Anywho, we know Shannon Sharpe's a Brongoblin. Stephen A. Smith likes LeBron James too, and he'll praise LeBron James, maybe not to the level of a Shannon Sharpe and a Nick Wright, but when it comes to Michael Jordan, then Stephen A. Smith will start ragging on LeBron James. But Stephen A. is a LeBron guy, is a LeBron fan. But when it comes to Mike, that's when he shuts it down. Let's get into this video. I'll be stopping periodically to chime in whenever I have something to say. I'm not going to wait till the end of the video because I'll forget my points. Let's get it poppin'.
The miles that I have, and to be able to play at the level I played at, it gave me like, okay, even more like a sense of, okay, I do have a lot in the tank, a lot, and I can help a big part of a team win the ultimate and whatever, if it's gold or if it's a Larry O'Brien trophy or whatever the case may be, I can still get it done.
Listen, I understand some of us.
Before we listen to annoying ass Molly chirp and say what she got to say, I don't think the Olympics play necessarily validated, or he needed that to say that he has a lot in the tank. I don't think that means anything. It's a different kind of game. The competition is different. And how many times have I seen players be like some damn good Olympic players, but they get back in the NBA and they're not that version of themselves, right? So, with that being said, I don't think he needed that. I said I think LeBron James could play another 4 or 5 years at an adequate to high level. That's what I think. But I don't need the Olympic play to be like, oh, look, I still got a lot in the tank. It's like, dude, you were just playing a couple months ago. What, was you just going to drop off a cliff? And they were highlighting LeBron James in the Olympics. He shouldn't have been the focus. He shouldn't have been the player they were focusing on. They shouldn't have been running the offense through him. But you know how narratives go. And the praising and the glazing and the love to no end. The adoration to no one unnecessarily. They made the Olympics about him. So they highlighted him. They showcased him. It should have been Steph Curry before. It should have been a couple players before him, to be honest. But I'll shut the hell up.
Get better, you know, like fine wine. How do you feel about that message from him?
He didn't lie. He was the best player at the Olympics. We saw it. Everybody saw it. The consistency throughout from start to finish. He was the best player at the Olympics.
I was going to say something, but I'm going to let it go. Keep talking. Keep talking, Shannon.
Named the most outstanding player at the Olympics.
Well, if you want to be honest, maybe the most outstanding player in the Olympics was probably Joker, but, you know, they didn't win the gold, so you know how that goes. But if it was reversed, right, and Serbia won it, and LeBron had the best numbers, he would still be up here saying, despite not winning the gold medal, Stephen A. Smith Marley, LeBron James, King Gold James was still the best player in the Olympics. Just like he was the best player in those 2017 and 2018 finals, despite losing. Because they had that 7-foot monster and Kevin Durant on now Golden State. That was a horrible Shannon impersonation, but continue.
I just want to hear Stephen A. saying he lied. He can't help a team win a championship. He don't have a lot left in the tank. I just want to hear him say that. Just say it if that's what you feel. But I did.
We have it. He doesn't impact the game like that anymore. Those are just facts. Those are just facts. And while he should give the keys to Anthony Davis and let Anthony Davis be that guy with no pushback, stop trying to insert yourself in. Stop trying to be the guy. Stop trying to have the narrative swirl around you. If he would just give Anthony Davis the keys, especially when he's healthy, he could do his thing. LeBron take a legitimate step back, then okay, you might have something. But LeBron can't do that. He can't do that. And as long as he wants to insert himself as the alpha dog on the team, it ain't gonna happen.
Yo, Shannon, how many games did you go to last year, bro? How many games you go to last year? Guess what? You didn't make it. You didn't. Oh, yeah. I understand that. Last time I checked, you work after the games. You didn't have time to go to the games because you knew the Lakers wasn't gonna do a damn thing. And that's where this point is going. Who the hell said LeBron wasn't great? We know he's great. That ain't the point. What you gonna do with the Lakers, bro? Are they gonna be great? You gonna win some damn games? Don't make this about him.
Why do you think that, Shannon Sharpe? We have finished in the bottom of the conference for most of LeBron's tenure with the Lakers. I say we because I'm a Laker fan. We've had to go through a couple of play-in tournaments. Like, what makes you think this is going to be some top-tier team? I don't see it. If LeBron lets these other guys be themselves and play to their potential instead of monopolizing the goddamn ball all the time, let the point guards be point guards, let your shooting guards get off, display their talents, then maybe run it through. Anthony Davis, tell AD to stay his ass in the post. But you know what? You don't want to do that. So, no. We're going to continue to be mediocre to bad.
You're going to get bounced out in 5 games in the first round. You're going to get swept whenever you see Jokic in the vicinity and you ain't got Steph and the crew to help you out. But when you're going to get Serbia, what you going to do?
I think there were 2 years we didn't even make the playoffs with LeBron. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure there were 2 years we didn't make the playoffs.
Don't matter. At the end of the day, he got to show up. And are the Lakers going to be relevant? That's the damn narrative.
Is he controlling what he can control? Stephen A.
Stop that, Swag. Stop that. That's not the point, Swag. That's not the point.
What do you mean that's not the point?
We talk about the talking.
There was a level of non-relevancy before LeBron James showed up in LA.
Yeah, there was a period of non-relevancy. At which point, now what do we call relevancy? Is relevancy, being a playoff contending team? Okay, that stopped after Kobe Bryant tore his Achilles. And when Kobe Bryant returned, the next 2 following seasons, shoulder injury, knee injury, missed most of the season. Came back, his final season was a shell of himself. He didn't have anybody around him, a bunch of young guys. So no, they weren't relevant for those reasons. But prior to that, they were a playoff contending team. Is that what we're calling relevant? Or are we calling championships relevant? Right? Because how I see it, 1 year, the bubble, he's about to talk about that. Depending on how you look at that, whatever. But outside of that, they haven't been relevant if we're talking about championships. And if we're talking about playoffs, like I said, I think there were 2 years we didn't even make the playoffs. And even though being a bottom-ranked seed, I don't know if you want to call that relevant, being a 6, 7, 8 seed. I don't know. Define relevant.
Well, I've heard NBA players say it wasn't real. I heard some say it was harder to win in that particular situation because of everything that was going on. Last year, I know I sat my ass right at home and watched you and Shay talk about it. Last year, I don't think the Lakers were even expected to get in the playoffs. Correct me if I'm wrong, Shay.
That's your fault.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
You're false. They had come from the Western Conference Finals the year before.
I'm talking
you
about
talking
during,
about?
I'm talking about during the season last year. I asked to correct me if I'm wrong. During the season last year, we talked about them not having enough of a roster to get into the playoffs.
We
right?
talked
Weren't they
about
in the
them
play-in?
getting to the playoffs and
Weren't they
going
in the
home
play-in?
early, which they did.
Stephen A., did the Lakers play in the play-in last year?
Yes, they did.
Okay, so I'm sure I'm right. I'm sure I'm right.
No, you're talking about expectations, not what actually happened. So you're not right. You are not right. It wasn't until longer into the season people started saying, hey man, the Lakers, they were expected to be one of the better teams in the league, but as these games keep going on, they can't get it together for whatever reason. Now we're wondering, are they going to make the playoffs? But the expectation was for them to be a contending team. And if I'm not even going to say if not that, at a minimum make the playoffs. Come on, man. You are not somebody. Ooh, man, get me on a panel.
It was a conversation around if they would. Am I lying about that? No. Okay, so let me go further.
That is different from the expectations, and that was your point. Before I get back into this, my chicken and collard greens are ready. I'm going to need some fuel for this. I'm going to need some more fuel. I'll be back. Let me go eat.
Don't have the GOAT conversation. Stop there. Stop there.
Today?
Stop there.
They losing this debate, and then they trying to turn this into a GOAT conversation like we see this happen so often. And you're going to lose that debate too. Go ahead.
The question was,
Live
does
in the tank.
LeBron have something left in the tank? Why you go all of this?
getting there.
What you gonna do, bro? You gonna make the playoffs?
Because you changing
gonna
the
win a
narrative.
title?
Because
That's
you
what the
changing the
question.
narrative.
Answer the question.
He avoided that like the plague.
Does LeBron James has a lot in the tank? Yes. 4 people on the panel. Yes. Topic over. I think they want Stephen A. Smith to just sit there and bask in the glory of LeBron James and just sit there and talk about him. Yes, he has a lot in the tank. Blah, 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 blah. But Stephen A. Smith saying, yes, he does. But what the hell does that mean if you ain't getting the job done? You can stat pad all you want. You can run the organization all you want. But it's detrimental to the team. What are you doing? Are you winning a championship? You got the talent. You got Anthony Davis. You got a good bench. You got your son. You got Bronny James. You telling us Bronny James is better than most of the people in the NBA, LeBron. That's what you said. You sat there and laughed like Bronny's better than most of these. I don't know the exact quote, but he said that. Now you got this guy, Bronny, that you hyped up so much that you said better than most people in the league. Now you got him on your team too? Oh, you better get it done. Crazy. At this point, that means nothing. There's so many NBA players with bad takes. Now, Kendrick Perkins is a guy that'll be all up LeBron James' booty, but Kendrick Perkins will also set the fire to LeBron James' feet and call him out on his BS at the same time. And LeBron don't like that. They're wrong for just ganging up on Stephen A. Smith like that. And Stephen A. Smith doesn't remember how the events actually happened. So when they started it, they said, these are LeBron James' comments about having a lot left in the tank. What are your thoughts on that? What are your thoughts on that? Stephen A. Smith gave his thoughts on that. Then Shannon Sharpe called Stephen A. Smith out, talking about, I want to hear Stephen A. Smith say LeBron ain't got a lot left in the tank. I want to hear Stephen A. Smith say LeBron ain't going to be able to lead a team to a championship. And Stephen A. Smith responded to that challenge from Shannon Sharpe. See, they did. That's wrong. Stephen A. Smith addressed the comments and the challenge that Shannon Sharpe and Marcus Spears said about expectations. Stephen A. Smith said exactly what he was supposed to say appropriately. Now they're trying to gang up on him and just say, answer the question.
But when you playing for the Los Angeles Lakers, one of the most historical franchises in sports, and you're LeBron James, every single season that you step foot onto the floor is championship or bust. There's no other way around it. LeBron James said it himself. I'm going to walk away from the game if I feel like I'm cheating the game. LeBron James' goal every time he step on the floor is to go out there and complete the mission. Can he complete the mission this season? Can he step on the floor and take a back seat or get the most out of Anthony Davis? Can he go out and make J.J. Redick look good after getting Darvin Ham fired? That's the question we need to be asking. Is he ready for that moment? I'm not downplaying.
Swagoo, you see how Perk come out here? I know a guy that played 2 years where championship or bust wasn't the expectation, but that ain't none of my business.
Hey, we ain't gonna talk about that, Trey. We're gonna leave that alone.
You acting like he stayed with the Chicago Bulls. You understand? The man went to the Washington Wizards after leaving the team.
Name the place that James has gone in the times that follow.
You can't. That's the beauty of it.
That's fair. That's fair. Excuse me. Name a championship finals that Michael Jordan lost.
You can't.
Sit behind that.
I can name a
Sit back.
You're gonna keep bringing up the Michael Jordan Wizards thing. I can't even compare it. Michael Jordan with the Wizards came onto a team that was not very good. Let's just call it what it is. Michael Jordan was having an MVP season his first year with the Wizards until he hurt his knee. It was never the same after that, getting his knee drained before and after games. But he was averaging one of three players averaging 25, 5, and 5. Kobe, T-Mac, and Mike. And the Wizards were primed in position to be, I believe, a 50-win team and make the playoffs till the injury. Let's call it what it is. That's Wizards Jordan. On top of that, Michael Jordan didn't have an Anthony Davis. The roster LeBron James has with the Lakers is far better than the roster Michael Jordan was rolling with on that Washington Wizards team. Let's call it what it is, man. Let's call it what it is. Nobody was looking at that Wizards roster like this roster has championship expectations. They were expected to make the playoffs, but like I said, the Michael Jordan injury happened. Everything changed after that. But it is what it is. They didn't make the playoffs. The Lakers team, most of these years, they have had championship expectations based on their roster. Now, the utilization of the roster and how Coach LeBron James is running, GM LeBron James run that organization and how things function, that's a different story. Maybe if he would play within a system, maybe if he would let somebody else take the reins, maybe if he would actually let other players be better instead of this false narrative that LeBron James makes everybody better, but somehow they're not better, and then he asks for them to get traded. But I thought you made them better. Why do you want to get rid of them? You can make them better, right? You see what I'm saying? Is what we have to deal with these LeBron goons, man. These Brongoblins.
Shay, we
did they play NBA problems in the 80s?
No, they did not.
They didn't play NBA problems in the 80s.
So we own the 90s.
Avoid it, Shay.
No, 80s.
Shay,
Hold on. He got there in the 80s. He got there in the 80s, Stephen A.
Avoid.
I said he didn't go to the finals in the 80s.
Avoid it,
Why
Shay.
not? Why not? Why not?
I'm not getting sucked in.
It wasn't good
But
enough.
I think
It wasn't good enough.
No, Michael Jordan did not win any championships in the 80s. Right? But LeBron James came in 2003, 2004. What championships did LeBron James win in that first decade? You could call those 2000 up to the first 10 years of the 2000s. That is equivalent to the first 10 years of the 80s. From that perspective, LeBron James didn't win. Michael Jordan didn't win either. I don't want to hear, he went to a finals. He lost. Nobody cares about people that goes to the finals and lose. This didn't start being a narrative to LeBron James because they had to have his finals losses count for something. That's when this narrative started. But nobody ever spoke about a player so glowingly going to the finals and losing. Not even Jerry West. Come on, man. Cut it out. As annoying and agitating Shannon, Sharpe, and Swagoo could be, and after all that they said, but those constant ad-libs and chimes from Molly Kiram is even more agitating. Stephen A! Come on, guys! Well, if I could interject 1 second. Oh my! It's gonna make my head explode. I've said everything I had to say when I was pausing and interjecting. Shannon, Sharpe, and Swagoo are absolutely ridiculous, man. I tell you, man. I don't know what to say anymore, man. I felt like I properly addressed and gave more than adequate rebuttals to bury Sharpe and Swagoo. I'm sorry. And I don't like any of these guys. I don't like Stephen A. I don't like the majority of these reporters and analysts and panelists. I don't like the majority of them, to be honest. But hey, man, when they right, they right. When they wrong, they're wrong. When I'm right, I'm right. When I'm wrong, I'm wrong. It is what it is. Anyway, that's all I gotta say about it, man. Y'all chime in. Let me know what you think about it. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell, stay notified. Salute. And I catch you on the next one. Let's address these Brongoblins and these false narratives. We out, baby.